Hello and welcome back. Randina here, Queen of Rapid Transformation. I'm so happy that you are joining me on this second video of the Art of Gratitude and Abundance series. This video is going to be jam-packed with a lot of information and a lot of knowledge, so get your pens out because you're going to want to write down everything that I'm saying. In the last video of the Art of Gratitude and Abundance series, I showed you just how powerful gratitude is, and I left you with the realization that you have a choice in which direction your life goes in. You can keep going in your same direction and live what you've been living, or you can choose this practice that takes no time at all and costs nothing, but will radically shift every area of your life, faster than you can imagine. In this video, I'm going to show you a scientifically proven way to get phenomenal results in your life faster than just using regular gratitude alone. It's called coherent gratitude, and I am going to teach you what coherent gratitude is and how to use it. I am also going to teach you exactly how to reverse the aging process using coherent gratitude, and how this one little tweak took me from being on antidepressants and not wanting to wake up in the morning, being happy naturally and waking up with a smile on my face and love in my heart. This tool also saved my client's marriage after years of being unhappy and wanting to leave. When she first began this process, she couldn't even think of one thing that she was grateful for in her marriage. After some searching, she came up with just one, and then another, and then another. And by the end of 30 days, she had decided that she wanted to stay in her marriage and was even enjoying being around her husband again. They were spending more quality time together and truly remembering why they got married in the first place. Their relationship magically transformed, and their children were spared the trauma of a divorce. This is the power of focus. It's easy to lose sight of the good things when we are wired to scan for and notice the bad. It's the human condition. I'm actually going to show you how to get away from this and how to reprogram your brain naturally and change your focus later in this video. Using the coherent gratitude techniques I teach took my client Melissa's self-image to a whole new level, which instilled a sense of great inner confidence in her. She even used it to attract the man of her dreams, and they are still together today and have a beautiful relationship. Because she uses this tool daily, she is able to stay focused on the things that she loves in her life and not get pulled into the cycle of negativity and improperly focused attention. This allows her to experience a great life of abundance and not one of struggle and scarcity. It really is very clear when you think about it. What you focus on, your awareness of it grows. It really is that simple. And by the laws of energy, you have to create more of it. Okay. So let's talk about how and why this works. There are two parts to it. One is what happens inside your body, and the second is what happens externally in the outer world. So if you think of everything in terms of energy, after all, that's what everything is made up of anyway, isn't it? There is no empty space in the universe, and your feeling is the prayer, as within, so without. When you feel this beautiful energy from the inside, it sends out into the world, into the universe, a signal. We're literally transmission towers. It's your broadcast. Like attracts like. That's a basic rule of physics. You must receive this energy back to you. We are all connected to this field, or some call it the mind of God, or source, or whatever. You ever wonder how someone is doing, and then you haven't seen them in a while, but then somehow they appear in your reality? Or you have a question about something, and then you happen to find the answer? We all have these experiences all the time. This is the connection. This is also just a small piece of what you can draw into your life when you are deliberate. So let's start with inside the body, as it's so fascinating. When you think a thought, another thought follows, and so on and so forth, until you have enough power to generate a feeling in your body. Thoughts alone are not that powerful. Your heart-centered feelings, the feelings you feel in your body, are 5,000 times more powerful than thoughts alone, and this is where people typically go wrong with the gratitude process. This is why it's so important to learn coherent gratitude. You are literally a walking magnet. There's nothing woo-woo about it, it's science. Feeling goes out and all other beings pick up on it and they react in kind. The universe responds in kind. What mindset do you hold? Look around your life and it will show you exactly what your reflected beliefs are. So do not be discouraged, you can change it, and you are changing it just by watching this series. People have the misconception that they will believe it when they see it. Well, what are you seeing? The funny thing is, this is backwards. You have to believe it and then you'll see it. Believing, ye shall receive. It's a basic tenet. This backwards mentality is the reason it is so hard to change, because we think what we see is reality, when most have no idea that the reality they are seeing is because of what they believe. What you believe is what your brain filters for. There's evidence of everything in this world. Everything. There's good, there's bad. It's what you're filtering for that you're going to find. So here's what happens in the body. So we have the hormone balance, and then we have fat cells, we have toxins, and we have hormone reserves in the brain. The brain knows you're going to need them, and then also physiological addiction, which I'm going to cover. Stress hormones, because you've trained yourself into being stressed. Depression, anger, anxiety, adrenaline, cortisol, it increases the more stressed out you are. Your brain creates more of this. So in the body, among your cells, is something magical going on called biophotonic coherence. Dr. Fritz Albert Popp, biophysicist, has conducted many studies and is the one who discovered, along with his team, the presence of a light within each of our cells. This light is the way the cells communicate with one another. It's called biophotonic emissions. It is in all things. When you cut a string bead in half, this light flickers in an attempt to communicate with the other half of the cells that are now missing. Fleas communicate this way, and so do the cells in your body. Your cells are naturally supposed to work like a symphony. Each have individual characteristics and jobs to carry out, but work together as one unit to make beautiful music or perfect health. Your thoughts and your feelings are the conductor. So 5 minutes of anger or any other negative emotion not only floods your body and your blood with toxic stress hormones, it suppresses your immune system for 5 hours. This causes your cells to go into defense mode, and they are no longer communicating or working together. They are in chaos and protecting themselves. If this happens enough times, they will begin to mutate and will no longer read as normal. This is why 90% of all disease is stress related and why you age faster. Your genes are literally mutating. You are constantly in the fight or flight mode, the left brain, logic, fear, and you have no real access to any real positive solutions. This doesn't just happen overnight. This is a gradual process, and you may not have even realized getting here. We become physiologically addicted to this state of being because our cells have to divide with more receptor sites for these toxic hormones and less receptor sites for nutrition and toxic waste. They need to get their fix, so you will subconsciously seek out situations that will cause your brain to release these nerves. New fat cells have to be created to store the excess toxins also. So if you're having trouble losing weight, even if you are dieting and working out, this may be the cause. So your brain has to create more of these hormones in order to suffice you. You ever find yourself getting mad at something or in a situation and reacting a certain way, and you're like, why did I do that? You know, that wasn't me, that was out of my character. Well, that's because your brain has to have that hormonal release. You know, mad people get mad, sad people get sad, happy people get happy. It's like the way that we have treated or conditioned our brain to react to certain things. It's a pattern in our brain that will continuously move forward. And it's not until you take deliberate control and take it in another direction. Most of us are on autopilot. You know, we're just going through the motions and we're not really taking control of our lives. We're just kind of letting things happen to us. Rather than us being in the driver's seat, we put ourselves in the back seat, sometimes even in the trunk. Your brain has conditioned patterns and systems and ways that it operates, and 80% of all of those programs that we use to interact in the world are sabotaging and limiting to the human life. So you've got to really take control so that you can become in the driver's seat, and the way to do that is through coherent gratitude. You recreate your brain. Essentially, new neural nets are created, old neural nets die. You'll notice yourself becoming more happier, more stable. You'll have more hormones for the happiness that you need. So it's really important to become conscious and get in the driver's seat of your life. On a side note, beauty products that contain sulfates and parabens are known to mimic the female hormone estrogen, which tells your brain you have too much estrogen, and so your brain backs off the production of estrogen, which is really bad because it's synthetic estrogen. It doesn't do the same thing in your body as natural estrogen. And then your body has to create more fat cells to store more toxins. It's a vicious cycle. It's chaos. Some people have more stress than others and mistakenly think it's due to external factors, when in reality that compromises only 10% of the cause. This is linked to your biological happiness set point. 50% of your happiness level is directly related to your genetic wiring. 40% of your happiness level is directly related to your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, which are triggered by your brain's wiring and your conditioned perceptions. Only 10% is related to external circumstances. You can rewire your genetic happiness set point with coherent gratitude. In as little as 2 weeks, happiness levels are proven to rise 25%. Think about being 25% happier than you are now. So how do you begin? 5 minutes of gratitude and or love relaxes the immune system for 5 or more hours. It increases happy hormones and balances your body. Your cells work together beautifully, efficiently, and coherently, and the aging process reverses. Your serotonin and dopamine levels naturally rise, and so do your oxytocin levels when you're exercising love, and you train your brain into requiring these hormones, so it creates more of them because it knows that you're going to need them. Your stress levels go down and over time diminish completely. You are in your creative and intuitive brain, and the world around you opens up just for you. Solutions show up and you receive new inspirations because you are open and receptive, not shrinking and trying to protect yourself. So imagine having an entire day without any stress at all. Imagine having an entire week of this, and now a month. When you do deal with stressful situations, it is easier because you don't have enough stress hormones to keep you in that state. And as little as 5 minutes a day, you can reverse all of the negative effects of being in a stressful state causes. You can reverse all the negative effects in your life. Did you know that a stressed brain on a brain scan literally shows depression and holes in the brain? In as little as 3 days of doing gratitude and appreciation, brain scans show the same brain being healthy again. Dr. Bruce Lipton did an experiment with the love hormone and stress hormones. In a petri dish, he had cultivated stem cells. And in one dish, he inserted stress hormones. The cells began to die, mutate, duplicate, and divide as mutated genes, pulling on the negative genetic history. In the other dish, he inserted oxytocin, the love hormone. The cells were healthy, they moved quicker, they duplicated and divided extremely healthy. No negative gene expression took place. When he inserted oxytocin into the stress dish, the cells magically began transforming, getting healthier, and even duplicating and dividing as normal genes. It only takes 3 days of 5 minutes to reverse the cycle. Think about how much happy quality of life you will add to your time here and everybody else's just in doing this. Think of how much your life will be lengthened, and you'll be happy about it and enjoy it. Everything becomes harmonious when you practice this. Everything. You will naturally align with your passion and your purpose for being. All good things come into your awareness because this is your focus and this is the way that you have trained your brain. When your thoughts are out of control and on autopilot, and you've trained yourself into reacting, your life will seem random and chaotic. You have no control. When you are stressed out, your brain literally cannot filter for good things without direction. You are in a state of survival. You are continuously programming your brain to look for things that are threatening. Think of how hard it is to laugh or feel love when you're pissed off. Think of how hard it is to feel compassion when you feel betrayed. This is because your brain is not in that house. It is in the house of stress, and all it can see is things pertaining to stress. You are out of control and have no way of finding things in your house of love. We unknowingly train ourselves into the stress mode with our brains and our bodies and our physical being. When you understand that the larger part of you is supposed to be in control by directing your thoughts, you are then in control of your brain and your body and your life. Therefore, you can learn to direct your life towards your dreams and desires and your intentions, and they'll happen faster. You can use this to get there with less turbulence and on autopilot. Everything is much easier with a balanced brain. There was a study here that I really want to notate for you to kind of give you an example of what goes wrong. So there was a study that was done on a group of 3-year-olds. There's a few different individual groups of 3-year-olds, and their creativity rating was at 100%. That same group of children that was tested at the age of between 7 and 9, their creativity rating dropped to 5%. So we go from having 100% creativity rating, being in tune and in touch with our true nature, loving ourselves as little children, little toddlers, babies, and being introduced into the school structure and introduced into all of the people that are conditioning us and telling us who we are and what we're about, and punishment. I mean, how many times do you hear the word no versus the word yes? And so we start to construct this false identity of who we are based around other people's conditioning of us. And then at the age of 7 to 9, our creativity rating is only 5%. We're only in touch with 5% of our true unique self. So it's no wonder that we go through life not knowing who we are, thinking we're bad, punishing ourselves. Our inner saboteur is controlling. It stops us from living our lives and experiencing things that we want to experience because we keep telling ourselves, that's not going to happen, you can't do it, you're not good enough, you're not worthy, you're not deserving. Even if you're not hearing that specifically, it's underneath the surface because you've been conditioned into believing that you're bad. It's very rarely that our parents are like, you're being being bad, even that is damaging. It's mostly you are bad, you're a bad girl, you're a bad boy. And when that happens, it starts to shape us, especially if our parents use physical punishment. It conditions us and shapes us into these beings who are living in the world in self-protection mode. So just the fact that you only have 5% of your creativity rating when you are between 7 and 9, it probably even diminishes further than that. You have to put yourself back in the driver's seat and do things to open that up so that you can get into a state of flow with the universe, because the natural state is growth and expansion towards the light. I mean, that's the way that we're designed. That's the way everything in nature is designed. So this is one way to help you get back on track, to balance your body, to balance your hormones, to balance your health, to balance your life, to balance your spirit, to balance your mind. You know, studies show that people have more self-confidence when they're practicing gratitude. They're more connected spiritually. They have less stress, they have more energy. I mean, there's so many wonderful benefits, and it's something that's not to be taken lightly, but for whatever reason we have been conditioned and we have learned that it's not really, having gratitude really isn't that big of a deal, but it is life transforming. Gratitude is a way to ignite the law of attraction, to bring you everything that you have ever dreamt of having, because you wouldn't have those dreams if you didn't have what it took to create them. You just wouldn't. Coherent gratitude teaches you to take control in addition to bringing more abundance into your life. It reduces stress, like I said, instills confidence, self-love, stronger connection, it heals relationships, which is a huge thing. It is your light out of the dark. It reprograms limiting beliefs because your directed focus is on the good things and not the bad. The negative eventually fades away. Also, writing what and why you're grateful creates new neural nets in your brain and speeds up this process. A study done at the University of Southern California proved that writing and feeling why you are grateful for something was really the only method that proved effective. There were 3 study groups. The first group showed little to no change, just because your thoughts are not as powerful as your feelings. The second group showed no change at all. And the third is the only group that showed significant change in happiness levels, in confidence, and a deeper appreciation for the things in their lives. Surprise, they had more to be grateful for. Their lives got better in every way. You are the creator when your mind and body are in balance. You make different choices and different decisions when you're happy. You naturally become more attractive, not only to the opposite sex, but to yourself and everyone else. You are traveling a very different journey. Think about the decisions you make when you're stressed, fight or flight, versus when you're happy, creative, and intuitive. Your life is completely different. That is how you create a different life. A life of abundance, purpose, passion, and prosperity. The universe aligns the same as if you were choosing a career path for college. If you chose to be a graphic designer, your life is going to be very different than if you chose to be a physician. If you choose to live a life of gratitude and appreciation, your life is going to be very different than choosing to live a life of stress and prescriptions. It is a choice, and you are making this choice every day of your life. We are not victims. We have been given the gift of free will. Make it count. It's about more than just yourself. It's about all the people in your family and all your friends and all of the people you come into contact with. The ripple effect is so much further than you could ever imagine. You impact people's lives you don't even know. Think about your bad days and how you interact with people versus your good days and how you interact with people. Happy people are an inspiration and a light to others, and they're drawn to you. You become the light in the darkness rather than part of the dark. The universe is energy, and when you're in a positive state, you bring positive things and experiences to your life. Think about that happy day again. Doesn't it seem that when you're happy, everything goes right? And what is it that usually makes you happy? Some event or experience you're looking forward to. That's why we don't have so many of them. All went right on this day, and even if something didn't go right, you let it go because it didn't bother you. You can deliberately create these days in your life by thinking of past things you are appreciative of, things in your now you are appreciative of, or future things that you are appreciative of. The amazing thing is, when you do this, you create more of them. Think about a stress day. Everything went wrong, and you reacted, creating a day of negativity, attracting more negativity to you. Think of how different this day would have gone had you started your day with coherent gratitude. When you deliberately start your day happy, how many more happy days do you think you'll have? Just imagine it. How many more happy people will you meet? How much healthier and happier will you be? How much younger do you think you will look? So fast forward 10 years of living like this, in a state of happiness, every day being deliberate. What an amazing life you can create. Take control and live a happy life. It's your choice. So let's practice coherent gratitude right now so you can experience for yourself how wonderful it feels. So I'm going to teach you a technique right now that will help you really get into being able to center that feeling here so that you can use your body as the energy that will trigger the hormones to start being produced. So if you take a deep breath and close your eyes and exhale all of the stresses out of your mouth. And really feel into your body and say, I set my ego and my critical mind to the side and I connect with my higher self. So take a moment and feel into your heart, feel into your body, and just be present within you. And think of something that makes you happy, something that you love. Maybe it's your puppy, or maybe it's your cat, or maybe it's your children, or maybe it's your spouse, or maybe it's your new car, or maybe it's the smell of grass being cut. Think of a time when you were really happy doing something that you really love, that your soul loved to do. And just feel into your heart and feel what that feels like. Feel that state of love. And if you can't think of something, then ask your subconscious mind to show you what you love. And you do that by saying, I ask you to show me something that I love. Even a good cup of coffee or tea. And just feel into it and feel what it feels like in your heart. And once you have that feeling, turn it up. Feel it even more. And turn it up even more. See what you would see. Feel what you would feel. And hear what you would hear. Smell what you would smell. And turn it up even more. Just remembering. So you might want to rewind this video and do that again and pause it and do it and really feel into it, because that is how you do it. That is how you program your brain for happiness. That is how you get the happy hormones to start flowing. That's how you relax your body and start getting your body to start needing that, so you become physiologically addicted to happiness rather than physiologically addicted to stress. It really is that easy. So if you're on the path to creating your dreams, and I hope you are, this next video is for you. I spoke of intention earlier, and in the next video I'm going to teach you how to become a deliberate creator by using efficient creative visualization, and how to marry your coherent now feelings with it to supercharge your life and make you a powerful magnet for the good things. This is the fuel to your fire. I'm also going to be sharing a mistake most people make when using visualization that you're really going to want to know. The reason their visualizations stay just dreams and never manifest into their reality. I'm going to show you a quick way to get results. This is a neat brain trick that you want to be sure to experience so that your visualizations don't stay just dreams. If you aren't currently using visualization, you're missing out on a huge opportunity to live the life you imagine. I have an amazing story for you from a dear, dear client of mine, and one of my own, to show you the power of this technique that I'm going to show you in the next video. So I taught Sarah this creative visualization coherent gratitude tool. We will just call it coherent visualization. In doing this, her results went from just daydream visualizations to real-world life manifestations instantly the second she started using it. She used this technique and manifested her dream relationship and now her own TV show. And I don't want to hear the excuse that you're in your 20s, so it won't work for you, because she's in her 50s. She doesn't look a day over 40. It doesn't matter how old or young you are creating from the moment you come onto this earth, and you will be creating long after that. In fact, I believe we never stop creating, since energy cannot be destroyed. Also, she just informed me that she is now engaged, so it is really a beautiful thing. So when I first learned the power of these different techniques, I was in my NLP Master Practitioner course, and I decided to do a little tweak in it. I was sitting in my bed going over my life, just beating myself up, because at that time I really had no money, and I mean no money. We didn't have much furniture in our little 700 square foot home. We had bean bags and an old couch that was donated to us that we had to put an old blanket over to cover the stains and the tears. We had an old wicker patio set that my son's great-grandma had loaned to us, and a dining room table that wasn't very nice, and a half-made entertainment center in the living room. As I sat there, I looked out my doorway into the living room, and I closed my eyes and I saw everything the way I would love it to be. A long L-shaped couch, decorations on the walls, candles burning with the scent of holiday cookies, a big screen TV with video game consoles for my son, and a lot of love and warmth. I saw and felt every detail as though it was real. I even got up with my eyes closed and walked around my house as if those things were there. I felt deeply grateful for it, as I thought it was already there. I could feel it. It wasn't just a visualization. I was living it. I went out on about my day, my life actually, and forgot about that visualization. Well, not too long after that, I was cleaning my room one day and I was admiring the new bed I had just purchased. I turned around and I was taken back because I remembered that visualization. My living room looked exactly like I had visualized it, and I didn't even realize that it was happening. I mean, everything down to the color scheme and the scent of the candles, it was all happening. It was in that moment that I realized the power of this technique, and I knew I had to perfect it. I had manifested all the money I needed to refurnish my entire house just from this one coherent visualization. Every one of my clients has had successful results, from manifesting money, to manifesting men, to manifesting vacations and more clients and more business. When you learn how to use these techniques combined, you can attract and become anything you wish. So what do you want to be? What do you wish that you had right now? So if you've learned something or a lot of things from watching this video and you have questions, leave them below and I will answer them for you. Also, let me know what's good in your life and what it is that you would love to create or experience. You will be an inspiration to others by answering these questions. When you shine your light, you give others permission to shine theirs. And that is the greatest gift that you can give anyone. I really love to hear from you. Please share this video if you feel like it helped you at all. Until next time, you're already creating your life. You may as well do it deliberately. In love, light, and in gratitude.